Look, I know everybody's still upset about the releases and whatnot, and some are coming out today. But however, we got to keep it moving and we got to keep it pushing. But let's go ahead and get started with this video because I think it's important for us to figure out that we still have hope for WWE. But, you know, how things are looking right now is just ain't looking good, you know. But let's go ahead and get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's officially time to say the fact. I mean, I've been saying this for like a year now at this point, but still, WWE is in shambles, okay? It is in massive trouble, and we know it. We're seeing it in front of our faces. We have to acknowledge, no pun intended, raise the ones up to the sky and acknowledge your tribal chief, but still, we have to acknowledge the fact that WWE in recent memory, along with like basically just the last year since Mania 40, they had a great Mania, and since then, they have been in disarray at every single level of the company. The management, we're going to talk about The Rock and Triple H and the situation with TKO, which a lot of people are talking about right now. We're going to discuss that. But the fact is that this has been a year-long struggle with awful booking, awful management, way more ads than actual matches in quality television, having situations where PLEs don't have many, matches on the card, so you can't develop talent, and thus the talent falls into obscurity and then gets released. You have situations where a lot of Raws and SmackDowns are monotonous, boring, awful, a lot of storylines going nowhere, repetitive matches, you have lack of interest, your viewership, you started off on Netflix with 6 million globally, and now you're struggling to pull around 2.9 to 3 million consistently.
All right, let's go through the update. So we see March, right? Now I'm going to scroll down because we already know about January, we already know about February, we already know about March. Feel free to pause if you need to catch up, but however, let's get to April. Okay, so we know about the 7th, we know about the 14th, but we don't know about the 21st. So it got back up to 3 mil, but I think it's because it was after WrestleMania, and of course, 3.6 mil is what it is. Our review, 8.7 mil. That's good. But globally, it's like 3.6 mil, which is good, but that's after WrestleMania. So when I get an update on the 28th, I'll let y'all know. But right now, the 21st looking good. But that's after WrestleMania, so just remember that. So we got to look at the 28th. But I'll get back with y'all about the 28th. But so far, the 21st looking good. But what about the 28th? That's the question. So I just want to show y'all that. But let's get back to the video. I'll keep y'all posted, all right?
That is globally, in a 7-day period, you can't pull more than 2.9 million on average. That is embarrassing for a company that constantly touts about how great the numbers are and how amazing the roster is, but people are getting fired left and right, they're written off the shows, they're doing monotonous, boring, bad storylines, and they're not getting their talent fully realized. And in all seriousness, we have to be real with ourselves. As much as I've bashed Cody Rhodes for having that garbage championship reign, which it was awful, you cannot tell me that Cody and Gunther could not have had better championship reigns. The booking played a big part in why those reigns were so bad. Now, obviously, Gunther is not a main event level talent, and neither is Cody Rhodes, but they still have the ability with the proper booking, and if things were actually built correctly and had good stories and they had good feuds, the reigns could have at least, at most, at least, I don't know how to say it, at least or at most, it could have at least been good is the bottom line. But instead, we got garbage championship reigns from top to bottom for the majority of both the men and the women's division and the mid-cards in both divisions over the last year, and it's unacceptable. We will talk about the releases as well and touch on that, but the fact is, WWE, the management, TKO, whoever you want to blame, etc., but the main blame should be on Triple H and TKO realistically. There's no other argument about it. You can try and blame The Rock for the main event with Cody and Cena, and you know what, whatever. Say what you want about that. Cool. The main event was awful at WrestleMania 41. Blame who you want. But what about the other 95% of the show that was absolute garbage and was booked poorly, had bad builds, and WrestleMania 41 in totality was the peak or the climax of this year-long struggle of bad quality from WWE from top to bottom. The ticket sales and the pricing for things are going up, but the quality is drastically going down, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, guys. Why am I in a situation where multiple times in the last few weeks, this is including the week of Mania, and even after that, obviously now, I have turned off Raw or SmackDown multiple times halfway through through because I cannot finish the show. The quality has gotten that bad. Nothing is happening on these shows. They're boring. They're monotonous. They make no sense. There is zero star power because your best people like Roman and Punk and Cena, etc., are all part-time guys. They don't wrestle consistently. They don't show up consistently. And so when they do show up, you have to maximize their power and maximize their ability. And you don't do that. You don't. Triple H has done an awful job of maximizing talent across the board. Carmelo Hayes has been an undercard jobber while people like Jey Uso are winning world titles. It's unacceptable. Braun Breaker is now a lackey in a bad faction that still has zero reason for existing. Why did Paul Heyman choose to side with Seth Rollins? We don't know. We don't have answers to any of these questions because he hasn't even said any words since this happened. It makes no sense, and you know it. This company is in shambles. We have to see The Rock and Triple H, their issues behind the scenes. You know that there's tension there. You know there's creative, conflicts and stuff. Because if The Rock wanted to show up at Mania 41, and if there wasn't anything holding him back, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like his situation with Triple H and TKO, etc., he would have shown up to WrestleMania 41, and you know this. You know this. So clearly there was something wrong with the creative. He didn't want to, work with Triple H, or something happened with that. Or maybe he was quote unquote busy, even though he was on the Pat McAfee show 2 days afterwards, sitting in his home in Hawaii drinking his Terramana drink. So stop. He could have shown up if he really wanted to, but there was creative conflicts. We know that him and Triple H have had a quote-unquote tension or power struggle, I guess, going on for some months now. This is just what it is. The tickets weren't selling in Mania season, so The Rock had to come back and build a storyline on the spot out of nowhere. So he had no promise to be there more than what happened at Chamber and the SmackDown before it. But we're blaming The Rock for one specific storyline, when in reality, there's 50 other storylines that all suck. So what are you talking about? It's done. The WWE is just in shambles. The management is at a conflict, and when the management and TKO and The Rock and the creative are having conflicts, it shows in the product. That's why things have felt in so much disarray. Mania build was awful. Mania itself was awful. The shows feel disconjointed. They don't feel, cohesive anymore. Even the botches inside of the matches are happening like ridiculously now. It's not acceptable. The bad entrance themes. You have people coming out like Zelina Vega gets no reaction because nobody even knows it is. It's a SmackDown theme, bro. B-lister Black, as I call him. You know what I'm saying? He gets no reaction. A newly returned guy gets no reaction because he's a jobber. Just because you come over from AEW back to the place where you were fired from or left from originally doesn't matter. You're still a jobber. Just like Rusev or Miro or Rusev, whatever the heck you want to call him, is going to go back to being an undercard or mid-card jobber. This is what it is. This is full of jobbery. Raw on Monday was so boring and so bad. Fans were pulling out their phones during the show. You know what I mean? The fans are just getting bored with this product. That's why you see the viewership declining like it has. That's why you see crowds so dead halfway through these Raws and SmackDowns. They're just completely evaporated. No one gets any pops. No one gets any reactions. The crowd's unenthusiastic. And it's not because the crowds suck. It's because the product they're watching sucks. Why in the world would you spend $10,000 to $15,000 for some SummerSlam tickets, dang near $40K for both nights for the little double VIP pass garbage? Why would I spend $40K on that to watch garbage? Do you understand how insane that is? You basically might as well give someone $40,000 and tell them to go burn it or put it in a paper shredder. That's basically what WWE is asking you to do with every single event that they are doing. Hey, give us $5,000 and we're going to put it in an incinerator and burn it. That's basically what's going on. They're stealing your money to give you bad content. The fact that we get so many ads and so many product placements, you have 18 billion logos on every ring mat, but then we're only getting 4 matches. How is that possible? We have more ring logos than matches. Come on, man. Get real with yourself. And then we have the releases. The releases are absolute jokes. Now, most of these releases are actually pretty warranted in my opinion, and they're probably not done releasing people. There will be more releases probably going forward later this year, and obviously by Mania season next year, there will be more. Because quite frankly, these people that they released today, the majority of them are not good. Cora Jade is not good. Dakota Kai is not that good. If they were that good, they'd be main eventing and they'd be at least a mid-carder consistently, winning titles in the mid-card at least. They're not that good. Braun Strowman is that good. He should not have been released because he was actually having a really good feud with Bronson Reed last year and a really good last man standing match, last monster standing match. One of the best parts of Raw in the last half of last year, as bad as Raw was in the later half, And then he helped elevate Jacob Fatu this year, who is now your U.S. champion, and you reward him by firing him?
Now, look, you know I'm the king of polls, right? So I I had to do a poll to see where these people are going to be located at and where they're going to go. And if you look at the results, feel free to pause. But basically, these are where people predict that they might go to TNA, they might go to AEW, they might retire, they might do something else. And so far, it looks so good to where their backup plans are going to be. But however, we have to wait and see. But at least y'all see what's going down. So, yeah.
That is embarrassing. You are showing the fans that what they like, right? What they like with situations where you had Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed's feud last year was pretty entertaining. People were interested in it. You had the Jacob Fatu stuff, him being elevated. The process of that was helped by Braun Strowman. People like Braun Strowman, and you fire him. You fire him for what? To have Karrion Kross on the roster, who's contributed nothing to WWE in nearly 2 years. Come on, man. This is embarrassing at this point. The fact that we have to sit here and actually, just be okay with this stuff. No one should be okay with this. The current product of WWE should disgust every single real fan that's watching this product. And in the midst of all of these things going downwards, you have Triple H telling fans to F off. Don't watch as a critic, watch as a fan. If you don't like it, you know what I'm saying, you're an effing critic. You need to F off, screw off. What are you talking about? How dare you alienate the fan base, disrespect the fan base, then disrespect some of the wrestlers, the actual performers inside of your company, and then proceed to disrespect everyone by giving us a bad product week after week? Are you kidding me? You guys think this is coming on here as a game? You know, to show the gamer, Fina, he's garbage at his job. How about that? You know? I'm not just coming on here, all these videos I made, I'm coming on here all these months and stuff, talk about how bad this product is. It's because we want it to be better. Wrestling, when done well, is absolutely incredible form of entertainment. Incredible. But this product is garbage at every single level. I'm not just talking to hear myself speak. I'm talking because this is the objective fact of the matter. You cannot tell me that a product that went from getting 6 million views as a TV show that's globally produced and globally visible, you cannot tell me that that product is somehow getting 6 million views on the opening night and then decreases to 2.9 million consistently, and you're telling me that that product is the best it's ever been. When 20 years ago, you were pushing 8 million plus views consistently. 20 plus views years ago, you were getting 8 million plus views consistently, battling with Monday Night Football for viewership week after week. And now you can't pull 2.8 million globally? And you mean to tell me that this product is amazing? It's not. I'm giving you objective facts that we have to start looking at as an audience and as actual legitimate fans of this product. But no, we're not even fans anymore. We're actually just critics, according to this jobber, this moron, Triple H, who has no idea what the heck he's doing. It's embarrassing, man. But the fact of the matter is, the quality of the shows are going down. These releases, some of them are just straight up trash. We all know that there's more to come from this, though. Karrion Kross's contract, I think, is actually up by June or July. He's probably going to get fired. Why would they renew this dude's contract? He hasn't contributed anything. I don't give a crap about a stupid Instagram promo or a Twitter promo. That doesn't matter to me. What are you doing in front of your screen, in front of our screen? You're not entertaining me. You're not doing anything. You're not even on the show most of the time. So what is this? This logic? Stop. The fans have to start understanding how big of a role that they play inside of this. If we, as a fan base, actually legitimately called this company out consistently, right? If there was more people calling this garbage out week after week consistently, we would probably have a better product now than we've had over the last year. But no, everyone's glazing and saying Papa H. Cook and long-term storytelling, and this is amazing, this is that. It's not good content, and you're seeing it in front of your face. Stop lying to yourself, man. This show, week after week, is garbage. SmackDown is borderline unwatchable, and it's been that way for a few months now. Raw is borderlining on unwatchable. You either get a very...
All right, I just want to pause real quick because I just want to let you guys know I got 2 reaction videos coming out with some AEW videos from the Divas because you know I love me, the women roster. So we got a match with Toni Storm, and we also got a match with Haley Carmen versus Megan Bay because you know I love my ladies. So you know I'm going to go ahead and react to them. So be on the lookout for those reaction videos, okay? Because I will be posting them in the morning. So make sure you guys tune in, all right? Even though you guys got to go to work or you got to go to school or whatnot. Just even if you watch them later, it's just want to let y'all know that I will be reacting to them and it will come out in the morning. So Make sure you guys turn on your notifications so that way you'll be on the lookout for those videos, all right? Let's get back to this video, all right?
Average episode of Raw or a very bad episode of Raw. It's very rare that you get anything above average. It's been months of reviewing Raw, and there may have been one good Raw episode in the last 3 or 4 months. In the last 3 months with the Mania build, and we still only have maybe one good Raw to speak of in that entire time span. It was probably the Raw after Mania. And even then, that Raw wasn't even that good. It was just decent. Decent at best, you know? It gets to a point where you just watch all this stuff happen and there's no objectivity. How are we seeing all this take place and everyone's just okay with it? That disgusts me. It should disgust you as a fan of something that you love and that you care about to see people bloviating about how this is the best the WWE's ever been. No, it's not. What about this is the best that it's ever been? What about it? Yeah, you're making money from sponsorships and ads, but is the viewership going up? No. Is the quality going up? No. Is the fan complaints going up? Yes. Because the fans now are turning on WWE. This is one of the final points I want to talk about in this video. The fans are turning on WWE. The fact that all the fans, the IWC fans, the fans in real life, because apparently the fans on the internet, you're fake, you're not real, but the fans in the actual crowd will tell you what's real. And you saw the multiple Raws recently, the multiple SmackDowns recently, where the crowds are just dead. People come out, there's no response. People, the faces are getting beat up, and the crowd is chanting for the heels to beat them up one more time, because they don't know what's happening, because it's not explained to them, and they don't care. Do your move and shut up and get on to the next segment. That is what the crowd is telling you to do. One more time. Do the move. I don't care. Move on. Lara Valkyria in the ring. Hey, do one more move, Becky. Keep manhandle slamming her over and over and over again. Sami Zayn, supposed to be the lovable, relatable babyface, all this stuff. You know, everyone's supposed to like Sami Zayn. He gets curb stomped and speared 5 times, and the crowd chanting one more time for him to get stomped in the head again. It is over. No one in the crowd is making sense of the stories. No one's entertaining the stories. The crowds are dead. They're not giving reactions as much.
Yeah, man. And the fact you got these Liv and Dom fans hyping up Liv and Dom with this one video, but every other video has flopped and nobody hasn't even heard of these two unless you're on the internet. But in real life, nobody knows who they are. And, you know, but Rhea Ripley got like 5 million in 2 weeks for doing an interview with Kevin Hart. And everybody knows who Kevin Hart is. And this video just showed me that people know who Rhea Ripley is. So honestly, I don't know what is going on, but it's crazy to me that the internet is so hyped up for 2 people that they don't know very well in real life. But outside of it, nobody knows who they are. You know, I'll be shocked if I go to the store and I bring up Rhea Ripley and people and I'm over here thinking like, damn, they talk about Rhea Ripley, but they're not talking about Liv and Dom. You want to know why? Because she's over with the crowd and social media is promoting her. That's the thing. People know Rhea Ripley. And the only way people will know Liv Morgan is if she go on her own, go to Hollywood, do some more movies, so that way people will know about her. People will know about Liv Morgan once she'll do more movies. So hopefully this movie will succeed and she'll get more roles. But however, you know, as for Dominic, you know, they're only going to know him if, you know, they do their homework on him. You know what I mean? So hopefully he'll get over with the crowd. He's starting to get over with the crowd slowly but surely. But, you know, again, the only way the crowd will accept him even more if they let him speak on the mic. And it hasn't come to that yet. So hopefully they'll let him talk. But I don't know when they're going to let him talk. But I don't know when. But hopefully they'll let him. Because, right, he is over with the crowd just a little bit. But, you know, are you going to let him talk? That's the main thing, you know, because I think this heat is starting to die down, and it's mainly because he's over with the crowd a little bit. So, again, Liv Morgan, if Liv Morgan do more films, she'll be straight. But, you know, Rhea Ripley, she ain't got to do no films. They just know her based off social media. And thanks to Kevin Hart, people know her even more. And that 5 million proves it. So I'll just say this. If Rhea Ripley get on Hot Ones, I think most likely she's going to do one by herself. And she'll, and I think that's going to probably get the most views than the Liv and Dom one combined. So 1 million is good. It's decent. but it ain't gonna top that 5 million. I know that for sure. So that just proves to you that who is bigger than the other, you know? Because you can go on, because some people will say, well, that's because, Kevin Hart is bigger than that platform. No. That's not even, no. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about who you know. And people know Rhea Rebbe. Okay? Why it got 5 million? Because people know Rhea Rebbe and they're tuned in. All right? People don't know Liv and Dom that well. It just got 1 million because of these Liv and Dom bots. That's it. Other than that, ain't nobody know who they are. They don't. But sooner or later they might. But in the meantime, it's going to take a minute. So, again, they're going to know Liv Morgan more than they're going to know Dom. So, for anybody that thinks that they know Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio is, they don't. You go to the store right now and you bring their names up, people going to be like, who? But if you bring a Rhea Rebbe, maybe like 1 or 2 might know about her. But don't ask a senior. You can ask an adult, but you can't ask a senior because they don't know. All right? They don't know. So I just want to point that out. But other than that, I mean, the fact that they get 1 million on one video, but every other video is flopping, just lets me know that where the promo is and where the promotions come from and where the marketing come from. You can promote a video all you want, but if nobody knows who you are and you got 1 million on one video, it don't matter. But what matters is the long run, because one video don't determine who you are. When the other videos have flopped. So I just want to say that. But Liv Morgan will get her fame. Just got to build up. That's all. So hopefully this film will help it. But that's all I got to say about that. But let's get back to the video.
Anymore after the first hour 30 of the shows. It's done now. Why do you think WWE had to lower back the amount of live events they do? Because fans were not showing up in droves to watch the live events. How many times has WWE shouted about sellouts early last year in the Mania 40 build, and now look at the sellouts this year? You ain't selling out crap. You're lying about numbers saying you had 61K at Mania, but 6 days before Mania, or 7 days before Mania, you literally only had like 48K tickets sold for night 1. But somehow 7 days later, you have 62,000 people sold out? Stop the lies. This company is a joke. It is an embarrassment. And in its current state, if it continues to go on this trajectory, it will die. And you can blame WWE, you can blame TKO, you can blame The Rock, you can blame Triple H, you can blame whoever you want. All I know is that every single week, every single month, I am being bombarded with absolute garbage on a consistent basis. The pay-per-views are horrendous. You get 4 to 5 matches, but somehow you have all these members on the roster, and you have 80 billion ads in the ring, 80 billion ads in the shows, a bunch of Raws and SmackDowns, overbloated of a bunch of content, and somehow we're only getting 4 to 5 matches on these cards? How does that make sense? It makes 0 sense. At Elimination Chamber, we had 3 or 4? We had 4 matches in a segment. Really? That's the best that you can give us after 4 or 5 weeks of build-up, and we're getting 4 matches in a segment. And then you follow it up at Backlash. We have a match where a former world champion in Gunther is fighting a ring announcer. A ring announcer, man. This is unacceptable. Jey Uso running around as world champion. I don't give a crap how long he spent to win a world title. I don't care how many years he's grinded to win a world title. You think that Jey Uso deserves to be world champion because he's put in work for decades? If that's the case, put the WWE Women's Championship on Candice LeRae. Give the WWE Championship back to Roman Reigns. Give the WWE belt to Rollins. Give it to literally anyone. Give it to LA Knight. He's been wrestling for decades. Give it to anyone then. Why not give it to Jimmy Uso? Like, what's the logic here? If that's the case, in this new era, this new generation of fans, this new generation of booking, you're just giving it to whoever gets a loud reaction. Why has LA Knight not won anything above a U.S. title after 2 years of being this over? It's a joke. Triple H picks and chooses who is in the top spots. And that is why we get a product that is ego over quality. And it is as simple as that. These PLEs are bloated now. We get so many of them, but nothing is happening on the PLEs because it's all predictable. Why is it predictable? Because, for example, we're going to get Backlash next week. We're going to get a Saturday Night Main Event at the end of May this month. We're going to get Money in the Bank will be 2 weeks after the Saturday Night Main Event at the end of this month. We're also going to get some PLE that's, I think, unnamed between June and July, so we're going to get that as well. We have a Saturday Night Main Event in July, and then in the first weekend of August, we have SummerSlam. So at the end of the day, you only have, 3 to 4 weeks? No, you have 2 or 3 weeks in between, like, all these pay-per-views, and then I think 4 weeks for SummerSlam. But even then, you have the Saturday Night Main Event in between that and SummerSlam. So you're getting an average of 2 or 3 weeks to build each PLE, so you know the matches are probably going to be predictable, they're not going to make any big changes, and the stories and builds leading up to it are going to be thrown together and forced and not built properly because they didn't have the proper time to do so. And all this comes after a lackluster Mania season that was absolute garbage. One of the worst Manias ever, one of the worst builds to a Mania ever, and now you follow it up with this hodgepodge mixture of absolute garbage and bad booking and sloppy shows with messy booking and no star power on any of these shows week to week consistently. This is an embarrassment. WWE is an absolute shambles, and it needs to be treated as such. I'm done sitting here. I mean, I've been done with this for a year. Let's be honest. I've been calling this BS out for going on a year now. But the fact is this needs to be treated with the same energy that Triple H gives when things are going well. And when Mania 40 was booming last year, they're bragging about sellouts and gates and the quality and the social media feedback and how awesome everything is. You're selling out this show, The Rock showing up, Roman showing up week after week, Rollins is there, Cody's there, Punk's in the mix, everything like that. You know, I can't stop thinking about Punk. But you get the point. Everyone's showing up. Everything is great. You're bloviating about how amazing things they are. And then welcome to the new era. Now look at your new era. Is this the Renaissance era? The Renaissance era of bad booking and egotistical maniacs booking the show who have no idea what the heck they're doing and are putting 15 ads in the middle of the ring? That's the new era that we have? This is a joke, and if something doesn't change, WWE as you know it is going to die, effective immediately. So that's all I got to say about this. WWE is in shambles. It's self-explanatory, and we're seeing it for ourselves. And don't worry, because I'm going to continue to call this stuff out until it changes or until it dies. I will be here to cover this absolute garbage company in its current state. Things can get better, and they may get better down the line. But as it's currently constructed from top to bottom, this company is an absolute and utter disaster, and it needs to be treated as such. At the end of the day, the truth will set you free. And the truth is that WWE is absolute and utter garbage, and it is in shambles. Thank you so much for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out and one love.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say to Hunter, man. I mean, bro going out sad, man. I don't know what to tell him. But if you all look at this list right here, you will see why SmackDown wasn't shit and we didn't even react to it. I couldn't even do no videos, man. Like, I couldn't even do no videos of SmackDown, man, because I just couldn't let go of the releases, man. Like, GG, Dakota J, KC. I mean, Dakota was the main one that people were pissed about. I mean, Braun Strowman, like, Eddie Thor, Jackson, like, I don't know, man. All these people that got released, even Shotzi, like, now Tatum don't got nobody. Now I'm just hoping that Tatum comes to the main roster and just be the manager for Lyra, like, because you can't leave her alone at NXT because we know she's not going to win no gold. And even if she tries to, it ain't going to be, who going to take the belt off of Soroka? I'll tell you, Zyra. Ain't nobody going to beat Zyra. Come on now. Ain't nobody going to beat Zyra. Not even Julia can beat her. Come on. Like, and who going to win the NXT title? I'm still waiting for Jared Parker to take it. I'm still waiting for Laura Vice to take it. Jordan Grace, she shouldn't even be in the NXT. She should just go to the main roster. But what's she going to do there? Well, she could face Io Sky. She could face Rhea Ripley. She could face somebody. She don't got to face nobody in NXT. And them getting rid of Cora J, man, was just fickle, but shit. But if y'all look at the polls, people wanted to go to TNA, which I agree. most definitely. So, yeah, man, that's the way to go, and that's just what it is. So, y'all get in the comment box and y'all tell me what do you think is gonna happen next. Zoe Sparks is still in WWE, and she hasn't quit. So, what do you think? I hope she quit. I hope she quit because if you see your best friend just got, if you see your partner just got released, what do you think they're gonna do to you? You need to quit. Zoe, you need to pack your things and you need to leave, because they're going to do you too. Just wait. For all we know, Candace might get released. But I hope they don't get her. I hope they don't release her because of DIY, but still, this is ridiculous, bro. I don't know when people are going to just come out clean and just say, hey, man, I can't take it no more. I quit. I don't know when they're going to say that because Batista quit. So when you going to quit? I mean, Mercedes quit. So when you going to quit? I think to me, it's like, look, listen, this is how I say it. You're not going to get it. If you're not going to get over, you're not going to go very far. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not getting your fair share at WWE, you need to you need to just pack your things and get the fuck out. That's the only way to do it. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want to take a stand, then quit. You know what I'm saying? Then leave. Take Liv Morgan's advice that she gave to Maxine. Quit. You know what I mean? Quit. Plain and simple. Quit. Quit and go and take a stand. If you could quit and take a stand, I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. You want to know why? Because at least, they can see that you're not playing around with the truth. So tell the truth. And I hope Corda J tells the truth. I hope Dakota tells the truth. I hope both of them will come out and tell their nothing but the truth and admit on why. Because Corda J got to say something, bro. He can't just he can't just hold back. Like, you got to say something. You can't just hold back. You already made a tweet about it. You might as well speak on it. Same with Dakota. Speak on it. Because you see what they're doing to y'all. But because of the money and the power, it's probably one of the reasons why they can't speak on it. But you had Bailey speak on it. Yeah. Yeah, we just need more superstars speaking on it, man. I mean, anybody that's getting treated unfairly, you need to come out and speak on it. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. So that's all I got to say. But y'all can comment down below and let me know what y'all think about this, man. Do you think WWE is going to last, or do you think it's going to die? And if it does die, then y'all know what you need to do, right? You need to watch TNA or AEW or NXT. You need to do that. Otherwise, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Okay? So get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And check me out on those reaction videos, man. Those 2 reaction videos will come out. So make sure y'all tune in the morning, all right? I'm out.